Hey guys, Pete here. I'm running some more tests on the gift of the Tech Special TR-7, and one of the functionalities that the TR-7 has is on the back panel is a little switch that lets you either read the internal counter of the frequency counter of the radio, which is the frequency display, or you can turn it into a 150 megahertz general purpose counter. So I wanted to make sure that in fact the counter was working, so that the erroneous displays are is not a result of some anomaly in the counter. And there's something significant about that as well, because WB4HFN in his treatise on the insides of a TR-7 says one of the most important boards in the TR-7 array is the passband tuning board, which I found kind of strange, a passband tuning board. But then he went on to explain that on that board there's a 40 megahertz oscillator, and that 40 megahertz oscillator is key in providing specific input frequencies, including the the counter time base. So I have a little DDS signal generator here tuned to 14 megahertz, and this is reading 1399.9, and I assume 99. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this counter up, and I'm now moving it up to 15. That's 14.9999, 16. Okay, there's 19. There's 21. 23. This goes all the way up to 60 megahertz. So we're reading 31 here on the generator and reading 30.998. So there's a little bit of difference in off, but that may be just a matter of an adjustment that can be made. So here we're reading 38 megahertz. We're reading 38 megahertz on our DDS signal generator. This goes all the way up to 60 megahertz. So I'm going to see what's happened here. Here's 52, and there's 52 right there. And here's the max is 60. So we're just a little on the DDS. It's reading 60, but here it's reading 59.971, so it's off a little bit. Seems to be more accurate down at the lower ranges, but significant piece of data is the counter functionality is working. So that 40 megahertz reference oscillator is okay on the passband tuning board. So I think that that's something important to note here, because that was a question in my mind: was everything reading okay? So we're down here. Let me see what we're reading here. So it's 1 kilohertz, or 1 megahertz, excuse me. That's funny. I'm raising this up to 200 hertz and it's reading 66 something or other. Okay, let me... Yeah, something on the lower range here. Okay, so that's 10,370, and that's 10,370. So down at the low range is some little problem reading it. I'm only putting 100 millivolts, 0.1 volt, 100 millivolts into the counter. So it's reading 10,369.9, and the counter here is 10.37. So we're okay. So that tells us important critical piece of information, that the digital readout board is working, and the time base board for that on the passband tuning board, the 40 megahertz signal, is working too. So that eliminates those two items as the part of the problem that we're having with regard to specifically that I'm not able to tune anything. All the other functions work, you know. There's the audio, there's the RF, there's the Passband tuning, that works. Mode, although there's a little difference in lower sideband, upper sideband, so there may need to be an adjustment. There's some pot here that I think adjusts the upper and lower sideband. I have to find that. Okay, so that's the Crystal Calibrator. I'm tuning the PTO, and that's on 3.5. Actually, there's two VCOs. That's the calibrator. Actually, there's two VCOs on the TR-7. I think one of the VCOs tunes 15 megahertz and below, and you seem to get some change. So that, but as soon as you go to 20 meters or 14 megahertz or 7 megahertz, you don't seem to get that same level of background noise. That's the Crystal Calibrator on. So I don't know what that's telling us. Important thing is 10.3.7. So put that on 14.3.7. So the counter's working. Important test here. Pete, N6QW, part 2, and the quest goes on. Recapping, the external counter input works, so it could read what's on here on the DDS. And this display board, I'm reasoning is okay, and I'm also reasoning that the passband tuning is okay, at least that part that's generating the 40 megahertz reference signal. So Pete, N6QW, and we'll end this video right here.